Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and a warm welcome on this cold morning to the third Philanthropreneurship Forum. My name is Michal Hussein and it's my privilege to be the MC for this year's event. On a day when we will be harnessing knowledge and experience from around the world towards the cause of effective and impactful giving, this setting, with its wealth of knowledge collected over centuries, can inspire us. And it has inspired so many others before us. In 1998, for example, when Austria held the presidency of the European Union for the first time, EU leaders met here, briefly met here before they went somewhere warmer for the rest of their discussions. But today's discussions are all about progress towards the social good of a better world. And as in previous years, the Philanthropreneurship Forum is an opportunity to discover innovations and creative practices and to meet inspiring figures whose work in different parts of the world and in different areas is delivering strong results. I'd like to give a special welcome to the former Austrian Chancellor, His Excellency, Dr. Wolfgang Schüssel. And to begin the day, we welcome the founding chairman of this forum, the chairman and CEO of the Al-Dabbagh Group, His Excellency, Al-Dabbagh.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, friends and collaborators, welcome to the Philanthropreneurship Forum and to the beautiful city of Vienna. We are here today to learn, to collaborate, to continue build momentum for our important efforts. For our new forum members, let me offer a simple definition of philanthropreneurship: the application of next-generation entrepreneurial best practices for philanthropy to achieve sustainability, scalability, and impact. Through philanthropreneurship, we seek to disrupt the status quo of giving. The Forum moves to a new city every year to meet local leaders and expose philanthropreneurship to the hosting city. We chose Vienna this year because of its long-standing history as a progressive, multinational city and because of its remarkable beauty, history, and energy. We stand poised at a critical juncture in history, with our differences being amplified while our commonalities are being muted. Globally, we see a spasm of protectionism, inward-looking, and the building of walls. The trend is toward deglobalization. In addition, our societies are being stressed by growing inequalities, and tragically, we have witnessed carnage and forced migration on an enormous scale. Rather than depress, this must serve to motivate us as a community of philanthropreneurs. This year's forum is designed around the theme of Generation Impact, defined as people who are motivated to effect change through action. Global citizens who believe that together we can create measurable positive impact on the world. This is not an exclusive club defined by age, but rather an open community defined by mindset. Generation Impact welcomes all ages, creeds, nationalities, and genders. Yes, together we face global challenges, barriers being built that keep us from going forward, but I believe the arrival of the fourth industrial revolution can have an unprecedented and transformative positive impact. We are entering an era where technologies, platforms, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and virtual reality can be leveraged to deliver knowledge in an entirely new way at scale. With these new approaches, we have the potential to overcome today's barriers, to move against this tide. To realize this potential, we launched Philanthropy University at one of our previous forums, the world's first free online education platform dedicated to NGOs in the Global South, offering courses to learn, community to share, and capital to act. Through Philanthropy University, we provide capacity building to NGOs to scale implementation of homegrown solutions, solutions that will solve urgent problems and address inequalities to help stabilize disadvantaged areas of the Global South. Philanthropy University is just one of the innovative approaches you will be hearing about today. This forum could not have happened without the support of our co-chairs, Paul Polman, Laura Tyson, and Paul Brest, and the passionate teams that work on all our initiatives. I want to offer a special thanks to our host city co-chair, Chancellor Schüssel, who has been so generous in his support of our event. Welcome to our speakers who are blazing the trail in philanthropy and offer rich perspective on today's theme. Welcome to our STARS Impact Award winners, leaders who are on the front lines supporting children around the world. And to Philanthropy University graduates who bring their generation impact mindset and new skills to serve the world. And what better place to start our day than here in the Austrian National Library, a historic institution that houses some of the world's rarest manuscripts. Let us marvel at the knowledge contained in this room, but let us also be challenged by these elegant confines of paper and place to reimagine the way in which knowledge and impact are delivered. Time is of the essence. I would like to conclude by sending you forth on a musical note with a musical quote from Mozart: "If only the world could feel the power of harmony." Let us work to create harmony today. Let us spread that harmony tomorrow. And thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for starting us off on that very good note. And it's now my privilege to introduce someone who knows our present environment rather well. Please welcome the former Chancellor of Austria, His Excellency, Dr. Wolfgang Schüssel.
Hello. Thank you so much. Welcome to my home city, Vienna. I warned you, Amra, I warned you. I said, we have the experience of the first Austrian presidency and the European Council. We cannot heat this room. But it didn't work. He wanted to be here because this is a symbol of education, of knowledge, and has something to do with our conference. So philanthropy is an old concept and an old philosophy. Started with Confucius and Mao and Mo Tse in China. We had in Europe brilliant thinkers from Hegel to Rousseau, Kant and Pestalozzi. Of course, harsh critics on philanthropy. I'm just mentioning Hegel or Nietzsche or Karl Marx or even Sigmund Freud criticizing the whole concept doesn't make sense, etc. In USA, Andrew Carnegie started the idea with the Gospel of Wealth in 1889. He said it's our duty, especially for wealthy people, to invest in the public good and to fight the root causes of poverty and analphabetism. But philanthropreneurship is a new concept. This is something different. It combines the philosophy of philanthropy and business opportunities and business knowledge. It connects to learn from the best and to learn from the best examples. And Al-Dabbagh is completely right. Today we are facing enormous challenges and not a single country, not a single government, not a single international organization can solve these problems alone. So partnership is a magic word. It should include the public sector, the state, but it should also include the private sector and the NGO sector, the third sector, with the politicians, artists, business people with innovative ideas, creative strategies, new tools, and new models. And you are completely right mentioning the problems of the young generation today. If we are serious about the challenges today, we see that the youth, the young generation, is more hit than the older generation today. If you take the economic development, the global economic crisis had hit the youth hard. Unemployment rate of those aged 18 to 24 in Europe is twice as much as the elder generation. And this has long life implications, earnings, well-being, participation. The risk of poverty has shifted from the elderly to the young. Then take demographics. For instance, Africa will double its population during the next decades to come. Are there enough jobs, opportunities? This is a real problem for all of us, and no government alone can stem these challenges. I'm really impressed by Al-Dabbagh's strong engagement, and I think that today's forum provides a strong impulse to encourage people and companies, since we have outstanding speakers and outstanding role models to be presented today. But there is hope. The contribution to philanthropy, to global aid, has multiplied tenfold during the last decade. 50 years ago, we had around 300,000 foundations. Today, we have several millions. 2010, Gates and Buffett made an appeal, giving a pledge, so to say, offering half of their wealth to these philanthropic events. And I think this is important. There are critics, strong critics on the place and all around, and we should be aware of it. It's all about power, it's about prestige, it's about the kind of philanthropic capitalism, it's about questioning the efficiency of private engagement. I'm completely of another opinion. I think it's important to have this engagement, but we should tackle and we should take these critics seriously. Austria had a strong philanthropic movement before the wars. We had thousands of foundations dissolved and destroyed and expropriated during World War II. Today, and it took a long time to rebuild such a sector. Today we have more than 3,000 foundations with more than 100 billion assets, and this is really something we are proud of. My government, when I was Chancellor and Prime Minister, started to do a lot, and State Secretary Mara will introduce his ideas about the Gemeinnützigkeit-Paket later on. I think it is important that we also give an example on that. Al-Dabbagh wrote a text, and I think this is quite interesting. While some choose to focus on how different we are, I'm more interested in what binds us together. And I think this is something very important for us. I had the privilege, to conclude, to listen to the last public speech of Shimon Peres, the late Israeli president. It was in autumn last year in Italy. 3 days later, he suffered a stroke and he could not recover. He died later. And this last speech was dedicated to his European friends. And he explained the difference between giving societies and taking societies. And he said a giving society is the only way to survive. And by the way, they are also better off. America, for instance, in the past was a giving society with the Marshall Plan and the rebuilding of Japan, etc. giving societies are always better off. So there is hope. And Jean Monnet always said there are two big powers in politics, the dynamics of angst, fear, and the dynamics of hope. So I think let's work together that hope prevails over angst and fear, and this is part of our discussion today. Thank you very much, and now we move to the warmer place.
Thank you so much, Dr. Schüssel. And yes, it is time for our discussions to begin. So I'd like to invite you all to take a few steps across the courtyard under the gaze of the statue of the Emperor Joseph and into the part of the Hofburg Palace where we shall reconvene. Thank you very much, and we'll see you at the Großer Redutensaal. Thank you.